good role model. And I've heard people say in many instances dealing with you in reference to that. And I want to thank you for that. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.
other thing is that it's hard, though, kind of hard, y'all. You got to kind of keep the chairs from spinning back and forth.
Keep still.
I'm the one that was going, wee.
Okay.
So look at yourself and see what you're going to look like.
This is called Youth Against Murder.
Yeah.
And we're going to introduce Mr. Langston and then Mr. Moore, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I'm going to do when we start this first segment will be 6 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? And
6 minutes, guys.
what we'll do during this first 6 minutes, and y'all look at me, Mr. Langston. Y'all watch me.
Yeah, we watching him.
And Miss Greenlee is.
But you eventually gonna look
pro
out.
in reference to this. Now, what we want to do. This is called Youth Against Murder. YAM. Is that what? And I'm going to introduce the show as Youth Against Murder, and y'all try not to shake the seat. You know, try not to move the seat. Try to be as still, not necessarily still, but don't start reeling on me. You see, and I don't think that we should have any problem. What I'll do, I'll introduce you as Miss Greenlee, Miss Clammy Greenlee, and have you two introduce them. That's what we'll do. And then that should be the first 6 minutes. And so what we want you to do is you introduce them, I'll introduce the title, you introduce them, and then I'll introduce the title, and I'll introduce you, and I'll say something about you, and then I'll say that in reference to the people that you have with you, and you explain them. And you should take about 4 minutes.
Okay.
That should be about 4 minutes, and then what we'll do, we'll probably start down with Mr. Moore, if we have time in this first segment, to have him to sort of round us out by telling us, and what we want to find out from all of you is your background, your education, and your experiences. That's what Ms. Greenlee is going to give in reference to that. And y'all listen to what she has to say in reference to it, and she's going to introduce you. She's going to tell me, well, she has with us Mr. Langston and Mr. Moore, you see, and then are you going to explain who they are? Yeah,
I'm just going to say they are well known to the community. Just might as well say you're born-ready advocates. And you're going to be speaking on whatever issues that you want, because I don't want to put nothing in y'all mouth.
But this is Youth Against Murder. Yeah, YAM. The organization YAM. Very good. Okay, that's what we'll do.
We good?
No, you just watch me. Don't you worry about nothing, nobody but me. Ain't nothing else in here.
He talking about before we start.
Yeah, well, I'm.
You looked good. I just saw you a while ago.
Yeah, well, look here.
No, you see that go him now.
Just watch me. Just look at me. I'm the only person.
See, you're almost right there. Look, you're almost right there.
She can't mess this up. She tries to. She can't mess this up. But just watch me, you know, and don't move your chairs. You know, just be ready. You see, and I know you're ready, because everything's going to be thrown to you in reference, and you know your background, your education, your experiences. When I'm going to introduce her to the audience, and then she's going to in turn introduce the two of you. Yeah, just take a minute to say whatever. Don't talk about the jail thing and all that yet, because we'll get into that when we come back and start talking. Just, you know, my background is I graduated from such and such, or I dropped out of such and such, or my background has been mostly just, you know, going in and out of schools or whatever. There you go. You want to glance at yourself right quick so you feel better. You ain't got to worry about that. Just I'm the only person that you. Right. I'm the most important person here for all of y'all.
Did his mic fall? Yeah.
Okay, so this is our second show for today, and the name of the topic is Youth Against Murder. Yeah. Which means that both
young people talking.
Three of you know something about murder. You see,
the violence out here,
and that's what we want you. That's the topic today.
And if y'all know y'all got somebody y'all know, a homie or something, get in that shout. You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to my homie who was murdered the 15th of April, you know, I'm throwing some out. Just, you know, get them a shout out, make their family feel good when they see this segment. That somebody said their name. Because, you know, we don't remember nobody's name no more after the funeral and all that. Don't nobody say their name no more.
Never say
and so and then you heard about the son and the father. Son and the father just got murdered.
When was that?
Oh, was that last week? It was last week. They having the little boy thing today, 11. They asked me to come, and I'm like,
Son and father.
Oh, can you get this? Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, just
Hello.
say
Langston.
Huh?
Just say your name.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Last but not least.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall
Don't
not
start.
want. Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is youth against murder. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about a very, very timely topic, Ms. Clemmy Greenlee. And of course, Ms. Greenlee has been with us on many, many occasions, and she's been responsible for bringing by individuals to help deal with some of the topics that we're dealing with. And Ms. Greenlee, what I'd like to do this morning is to first have you to give some information in reference to your activities and some of the things that you've been involved in, and then you can give Mr. Langston as well as Mr. Moore an opportunity to make some statements in reference to who they are and why they're here this morning. And then I think that will sort of get us out of the first 6 minutes of this particular show. Let's do it from that perspective. Okay, well, first of all, just let me thank God for being here another time, and thank you for allowing me to come back. You know, I've been here a lot of times about talking about Stop the Violence, talking about my organization, Nashville Peacemakers. I had a young lady come to me and ask me, Ms. Greenlee, do you have a place for young people to come? Because we want to stress about how we are fear with this violence now. And I said, yes, you know, you could use my facility. And they said, well, it's a bunch of youth. And I said, well, that's what I need, because the youth is the one that's going around doing the violence, and I want to talk about what it is that we could do to help you guys. But
we need to hear you guys now, because I always come on here with older people, and that's fine. But now it's time for me to bring the young out and give them a chance to hear their voice, since we can't be brought to the table to express how we feel from anyone else. So I've been out here for a minute, and these two young men that sit next to me, they know me. They've been out here for a minute. They're very well known in the community by a lot of people themselves, and not just by through crime, but just good things that they have done in the community. So this is why I'm asking them to come. I want to hear on a man prospect about what it feels like out here with this violence and what could change. And then we always labeled about all the black men's doing this and doing that. I want to just kind of bring a different look on it and why I think that we can, you know, solve some of this. So this is who I have with me. I have Mr. Langston. He's very well known from the community. He'll tell you about him. And then I have Mr. Moore, who's we go back a long way, and I just feel like they have something to share.
Mr. Langston, let's have you to sort of give us some information in reference to your background, education, and your experiences, and why you are here this morning with us, and Moore will do the same.
Well, I'm from Nashville, a native of Nashville. I lived on every part of Nashville. I'm mostly known out of the south side of Nashville. I was good in sports coming up. I was a great football player. You know, I had opportunities, but I chose the wrong path. I done over a total of 8 years incarcerated. I'm only 27 years old now. So the reason why I'm here is because I know it's possible to change. You know, it's not gonna be easy, but it's possible, you know. So I'm basically with the movement. Miss Clemmy, she's with the movement. We actually out here, foot soldiers, trying to get things going. But, you know, it's things that we gonna need, and it's things that we gonna need people to understand in order to get to where we're going.
What about you, Mr. Moore?
Well, I'm Chauncey Moore. I'm from East Nashville. My feelings on a lot of things are not where they need to be, because things are not where they are supposed to be. I linked up with Miss CGreenlee5, and I thank God for her. Our community is starving. It's starving to the point, man, where a lot of people don't understand where we are really coming from. People have to realize and understand that this generation is different from the last. The things that you implemented, the things that you chose to do and say then will not work for the youth of today. It's like having a job, and every day, you know, you go to this job and you expect your employee to give you what it is to do your job.
Yeah.
So when you don't have the things that you are expecting to do your job, how can you do your job? If you have no way to do it, then, you know, you resort to other things, other ways of doing it.
Very good. And so, Ms. Greenleaf, what we're saying here is that we do have two young men who have been around. I think Mr. Langston said that he had been away from us for 8 years, and et cetera. And so he has experienced some of these things, and he's got a lot of information that we need.
Yes.
And I think that being a member of the Youth Against Murder, they can indicate that that is a real problem. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the first commercial break, and when we come back, we want Mr. Langston and Mr. Moore, under your direction, to get involved with explaining to us some of the problems in reference to this organization and why this organization, Youth Against Murder. And so we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. At 8 minutes now.
Okay.
Well, what we want to do.
I want y'all to mostly talk, and they hear me all the time. You see what I'm saying?
And so when we come back, I tell you, when we come back, we're going to start with Mr. Moore.
Okay.
You see, now, this is Youth Against Murder. Now, you tell us if you've had some personal experiences in terms of losing some close person in reference to that. Do the same, and the same thing with you, Mr. Langston. You know, tell your personal story about, because this is Youth Against Murder, and what you want to talk about is that you are against murder. So we'll start off with you.
And how we can reduce it. So talk about the homies, but name some issues.
Is it Is it all right? Because I actually did 7 years in prison.
Yeah, say
No, we want you.
But I didn't know when would be the good right time.
This is
This
right
is
time.
it right here.
You're going to have, when we come back, you're going to have 3 minutes. I'm going to start with you.
Can you tap your finger or shake your head when I need to be done?
Okay, when you see me do my leg like that.
You just talk. You just talk. You're going to have 3 minutes. And then you're going to have 3 minutes. Okay? And then she's going to have 2 minutes to sort of take us out of this second segment. And so be ready, Mr. Moore, to talk about your organization, Youth Against Murder, and why you think that this organization is important and why you became involved. And if there was been some kind of murder or whatever that you can reference, do it at that time, okay? And we're going to start with you. You have about 3 minutes to talk after we introduce you again. So don't worry about the time. Just talk.
Yeah, you just said some powerful stuff.
Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Ms. Greenlee, Mr. Langston, and Mr. Moore, and they are dealing with the issue of youth against murder, indicating that murder and homicide has played a very, very significant part in all of our lives. And what we're trying to do this morning is to give them an opportunity to make some statements in reference to the organization that they have and some of their attitudes in reference to that. Let's start with you, Mr. Moore, and have you to talk about some of the things that you'd like to say in reference to the organization Youth Against Murder.
Youth Against Murders really is self-explanatory. It's an organization that basically shows kids, and not only just kids but adults too, but we're mainly talking about the youth at this particular time. It shows them that it's other things out there to do. You know, we have different programs, GED programs, we have, you know, application programs, we have all kind of things to implement. We have them implemented to get them to the next level. See, I did 7 years in prison, you know, and in prison I told myself a long time ago that I've taken so much, it's time for me to give back. So I'm taking advantage of this opportunity that I have now with Ms. CGreenlee and Mr. Langston here to reach out and touch anybody that is willing to listen, because this is not just about us. This is about the youth. This is about our community. This is about things that are going on in the world today. People had just got killed a few days ago, you know, 50 people. You know what I mean? 49, you know, victims, one, you know, killer, but it's time. Times have changed. Things are hard. Our youth is our future. If we can't save them, we can't save nobody. I am the type of person, I will give you the shirt off of my back. I have no problem with that. I cannot like you and will be still willing to do it. But a lot of men nowadays do not understand. It's like being one-dimensional. In order for you to change, you have to want to change. It has to be, it's not necessarily just you wanting to do something different, but it's wanting you to be different. You know, I had to sit down and I had to tell myself, you know, why I used to sit in a cell and just, what is it that I really want out of life? You know, I felt like I didn't have feelings. I felt a lot of things, and I actually, for me to feel like I didn't have feelings, they let me know that I had emotions right then and there. So, in order for me to take all of these emotions and things that are built up inside of me about what is going on with not only me, but my community, I'm turning it around and trying to go at it another way without weapons, without drugs, without, you know, I work 9 to 5 every day. Every day. And you know what? It's hard, but at the same time, in order for you to succeed, you have to be dedicated, and you're supposed to have the will to get to the next level. So I thank God for giving me the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I have at my age to want this. So with me being able to want this, I want others to want this.
Very good. Now, Mr. Langston.
Well, Yam, it's really where we're trying to go with this is we're trying to get the youth together to fight against this right now. Because when you're dealing with these guys, they're not trying to really listen to, you know, somebody 40, 50 years old enough to be their mamas or granddaddies. We got to give them something that they can relate to now, what's present, what's going on now. And it ain't no other better way, because you never know. A lot of you young guys, you know, you may have a friend. If you would just talk to them or be like, nah, that ain't right, don't do that over some nothing, you know, $25, you know. I mean, it's bigger than that. Like Brother Moore was saying, you know, it's bigger than us. It's not even about us no more, you know. It's about our future, you know what I mean? So basically that's all we trying to do. We out here. If you want to be a part of it, if you sick of it and you tired of turning on that news and seeing somebody that you probably just seen yesterday or the day before, and now he gone. You ain't gonna see him no more, no matter what y'all relationship was. You know what I mean? Brother Moore, he done 7 years. I know he know a lot of guys that died while he was inside there that he actually knew. And I can't even count on my fingers how many guys that I know that died. And I know, you know, in a couple situations that if I was still out there, I probably would have been with them. You know what I mean? Or I probably would have done something stupid when I heard about it happening, you know. So, you know, it's, and like you also said, you got to really change the way you think about things.
And so, Ms. Greenlee, you're working hard with these young men to not only try to direct them, but to have influence outside of the group. I think that you've always indicated that if we want to deal with the problem, we have to deal with the people that are causing the problem, and to make some statements in reference to that.
Yes, sir.
You got about 2 minutes.
You know, I'm the founder of Nashville Peacemakers, but let me give a shout out to the CEO of the YAM program, which his name is Keedy Parker. She couldn't make it today, but she wanted to do the work. But I want to take them to the whole next level of making the city listen to us. I've asked them, so now I'm going to make them listen to us. So we're going to the legislation, we're going to the council members, we're going to the mayor's office, we're going to be writing up our little laws about what we want to see change in our community. Every time you see a forum happen, you go to the forum, but you don't never see them on the forum. The ones who's going to give them the answers. You keep telling us how to stop the violence, and you've never been involved in the violence. And I don't want you, I'm not saying I want the families to be tormented with violence, but if you have never been or lived like this, why would you always want to conduct a conversation about it? So it's time for us to put them to the table and for us to sit in the audience, and this is what I'm coming out for this year and next year, to hear my youth voice. Yeah, we do have youth talk sometimes, but it's not the talk that they really need to hear without getting blooped out, saying you just respected the elders or you can't talk like this in church. So when in the hell you're going to let them really speak and really get the help that we're trying to get?
And so we have two youngsters and two young men in a real sense who have finally come to a realization, perhaps after some trials and tribulations themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good situation in terms of trying to at least let people know that they've been there.
Yeah. And so that's why I brought them, because they'll be the one that can tell us how to come out of this. The issues that they saw, they've been gone 7 and 8 years apiece. I know when they got back, they community was changed, and I like to hear sometimes what's the change that they saw.
And of course, what we'll do is take this second commercial break, and then we'll come back and have them to give us some information during this last 10-minute segment in reference to what you believe you can do in reference to change things out there, considering your backgrounds. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. We just got to set it up, you know, anything you want to talk about. Personal experiences.
We don't talk about
issues, like what funds, if we had funds, if we had churches open, if we had any of these abandoned buildings, y'all letting everything, I can speak on that too, y'all. We watching all this build around us. Give us some abandoned buildings. We can turn the abandoned buildings into some community centers and libraries ourselves. You know, funds. You know, we don't have anything to work with. You always, you know, we don't need another soup kitchen. I'm not mad at who want to go feed and all that. I'm not saying that.
Right.
Because people do get to get a meal that has been hungry.
You hold that because that's some information we're going to get on this tape here.
Yeah. I told you, like with me, exactly. Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, some things that we can do. Now,
Yeah, we got to have stuff for these guys to go to. And we got to have something for them.
You need some support.
They ain't trying to hear nothing.
In other words, what the two of you are saying, the three of you, that you need to have something to work with in order to work with the resources.
We need resources.
That fit us. The resources out here, because there are challenges on that. The resources is out here. But no, they don't fit us. You either make $1 too much or $1 too less. Or my background didn't get me in there. So
okay, here we go. This is that final say. We've got 10 minutes here. Y'all speak up. Have a chance. We'll start with you again.
2.5 minutes apiece.
Okay.
Opportunities.
Are we ready?
15 seconds.
Okay, good. I didn't know whether or not I was. Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Ms. Greenlee, Mr. Langston, and Mr. Moore in reference to an organization that they have established called Youth Against Murder, indicating that this is a real serious problem within not only this community, but all communities across this nation, that people are killing one another. And I think that we have an example here of young men who are trying to do something different in reference to it. Why don't you give us some information in reference to how you see, Mr. Moore, what we might be able to do?
Well, first and foremost, I think that there are a lot of things that we can do. The opportunities that are given are not the things that suit us, as I shall say. Giving things to people are more, you got to custom fit them, you got to custom make them, you know what I mean? So with me saying that, let me elaborate a little bit. If Miss Clement Greenlee had, let's just say, X amount of money, but she knew exactly what to do with it, she knew where it was supposed to go, she could track where it was supposed to go and execute and have real opportunity, like
positive outcome.
Yeah, positive outcome. Then, you know, it would be something that could put, rock the boat to get things going, to show that we are capable of maintaining ourselves. See, things get blown out of proportion. No, we're not mad about the soup kitchens, and no, we are not mad about any and everything else that they have done. Only thing that we are saying is that it is not sufficient enough because it doesn't fit the type of people that you are going after. In order for us to have the things that we need, check this out. Williamson County, I would say that, schools. Great schools have everything they need. Brentwood have everything they need. But when I go to Maplewood or Stratford High School, they just redone those schools. Yes, they did. But at the same time, why did it take so long to redo those schools and get them to the point where they are test level ready? You know, doing the bare minimum and getting just by is not cool. If you settle for less, you will get less. At the end of the day, we are thankful for everything that is given to us, but we need the things that are going to help us and get us further so that we could show that we are these type of people. Despite what I've done in my past, going to jail 7 years, prison 7 years, every day that I sat in there, I thought, and I thank God, just please, Lord, I promise you, I'm glad that you set me down. See, some people look at prison as a place to, lollygag and play. But me, I took it as an opportunity to better myself because I wanted change. It took me wanting it in order for me to enact it in my life. That's why I'm here doing this show today. That's why I'm representing this program. That's why me and Mr. Langston are representing this program with her. We have things that we would like to do, and we have a lot of opportunities that have been taken away from us also. But at the end of the day, only thing that we are saying is Give us what we need to work with to get to these youth.
Yes.
And let us give you your results.
Yes. Yes.
In order for you to get results, you have to give us what it is that we need. If we do not have what we need, we can't give them. We can't give them. I can't pull up in somebody's hood and tell them, drop the gun. These young folks out here have attitudes. See, my persona, my facade, this right here, this is me. But this is me trying my best to get these kids to understand that you can get all of this and more about working. You don't have to use a gun to get it. I've worked and I've been working. I have not picked up anything. I have not called anybody for anything. I have not done anything that I'm not supposed to do because this is what I want to do. I want to do the right thing, and I feel like my voice can touch and will heal hearts. No matter whether I'm doing it in Nashville, no matter if I'm doing it in New York, California, Atlanta, Miami, it don't matter where it is. My voice will be heard, and I will not shut up. I need these kids. She needs these kids. He needs these kids. This world needs these kids.
Mr. Langston?
Well, I want to just start off by, elaborating on some more of the stuff, because we all on the same page here. What we need real resources for these young kids out here. Something different has to go on, because if we doing the same thing, that's called crazy. That's called crazy. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. It's not gonna happen. It's just, that's common sense. So I feel like if we know that, Clem feel like if she know that, we feel like the power to be that know that. I'm just be all the way honest.
Well, we talk about, Mr. Langston, youth murders and violence and et cetera. Well, where do we get all these guns that we have in this city and other places? How do you meet the gun in your kind of opportunities? Do you find a large number of folks carrying guns, having access to guns? How does that work?
I mean, we have resources to guns. Where they coming from, I don't know. I don't know. But you know how it used to be. It's a gun store everywhere, and there's liquor stores in our community. You know what I mean?
But most of these individuals, are they buying these guns, or are they just coming into possession of a gun? But everybody seems to have a gun, and that seems
you gotta think, a gun is a part of their lifestyle. So whatever they need to do to get it, they gonna do it to get it. Whether they gotta break in somebody's house, whether they gotta break into a gun store. It's a part of their lifestyle, because this is the only way they know. You know what I mean? They need this for survival. Just like a businessman, he's gonna need his accountant and all that. Well, somebody in the streets, he gonna need a gun, because he know
everybody else has got a gun.
Got his, and they just got into it at the basketball court the other day. So I need to do whatever it is to give me a gun, or I could be gone out here. You know what I mean? So like he said, times have changed. We wanna give these guys opportunity. They need opportunities. The talking is over with. We can't talk to them. We have to come to them with something. We have to come to them with somewhere to go. We have to come to them with an opportunity to make some good money, some good, clean money. You know what I mean? We have to give them opportunity and show them that hope, that there is a way, because they have no knowledge that you can change. And the will to do comes from the knowledge that you can do.
Okay, Ms. Greenlee, let's close us out today. We've got about 2 minutes.
Well,
talk about these guns.
First of all, it's a setup. The guns was dropped through the system and the government, because we have done a survey. There's not as many guns in Brentwood, West End, and those kind of areas like they are in the hood. We also did a survey that we up to 100 murders here. We did a survey out in West End area, and they had, I think, probably 1 or 2 murders out there. So that speaks for itself. They dropped the guns in our neighborhoods on purpose. When I say they, the government, the system, and the crooked laws, and they did it the same way they did the dope. The dope is becoming a draft now, so people can't get the drugs like they used to, and so that's why they start robbing us. Now the opportunities is like Mr. Moore said, y'all know I've been out here for a long time. Why haven't nobody given me any money? Why any mayor, any elected official haven't invited me to the table? Because they know I'm going to change. They don't want us to change because it'll cut their salaries and it'll stop some of these grants that they getting. Also, it's another young man in your studio has a program called Leach Foundation. He got a business plan and everything, and we finna hook up in partnership and put it together, and we're gonna demand some funds. We be sent out to go to some of these resources, but we don't fit in. Either your parents made $1 too much or your parents made $1 too less. So when are we gonna get some resources for us? It's time for us to fill that gap. I don't need any more soup kitchens. I don't have nothing against nobody that's going out feeding the community and all of that. No, put that in their refrigerator. Put that on their rent bill. We don't need any more soup kitchens. We need opportunity. We need the churches to open the doors instead of Sunday and Wednesdays. We need them to let us in there and use some of them. Let us teach our own reading class, our own computer class, dance class, chess class, anything that'll keep them opportunity. Open these damn centers back up. How can you close a center and a library on the weekend? This is when they mostly need something. That's the only opportunity they had. So they know what they're doing in our community, and we finna bring it to a stop.
And so you think that there's not enough opportunities for people to come to, young people to come together?
People of low income.
Community centers and et cetera, that would
It
help.
speak for itself, Dr. Hayne. I'm say this right quick. Go to Germantown, which is on 5th Avenue North, right? You step off of Kroger parking lot and go to your left. Step off of Kroger parking lot and come to your right. It speaks for itself. It
speaks for itself. And of course, let me thank the three of you for bringing by that excellent information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.